and me and Martin, we're going to read Hilda and the Hidden People. We're going to read a few chapters of it for you guys today.
Martin, he's a good reader.
Martin is an excellent reader. He'll take over in just a few minutes. Chapter 1. The wind blew, the wafts flew. The sun sank low in the sky. High on the south side of Boot Mountain, a little girl with blue hair sat on a rock, sticking her tongue out. Hilda always stuck her tongue out when she was drawing. It helped her concentrate. The tip of her pencil darted across her sketchbook as she drew forests and plains and waterfalls, the rivers and snow-capped mountains, and the lush green valley. Making maps was an important part of an adventurer's job, and adventuring was something Hilda took very seriously indeed. As soon as she finished drawing the mountains, Hilda gave them names. The names were based on what they looked like. In her neatest handwriting, she labeled Mug Mountain, Lamp Mountain, Moon Mountain, Beetle Mountain, Bottle Mountain, and Bubble Hat Mountain. It was turning out to be an excellent map, even if she said so herself. And she had to say so herself because there was no one else for miles around unless she counted Twig, and Twig couldn't talk. Twig was a deer fox, a small white bundle of courage and cuteness who often accompanied Hilda on her adventures. Down below them, in the middle of the plain, was an enormous standing rock. Hilda stared at it, shielding her eyes from the slanting rays of the afternoon sun. The strangest thing about the rock was the long, pointy stone that stuck straight out of it, like a handle on a saucepan, thought Hilda, or a long nose on an ugly face. And Hilda's blood ran cold. She shrugged her adventuring satchel off her shoulders and pulled out the book of Caves and Their Unfriendly Occupants by Emil Gamelplassen, flicking through the pages until she reached the section on trolls. It said, "Some species of trolls cannot stand the sunlight. If the sun rays fall on such a troll, it turns to stone. It can be difficult to tell a normal standing rock from a troll rock, but you might notice hints of a face, in particular a long nose-like protrusion. At sunset, it turns back into a troll again." Hilda stared at the troll rock. She had never seen one before, and she could hardly believe that it was right here in front of her. And here's an excerpt from the book, Caves and Their Unfriendly Occupants. That's what the picture looks like.
Wait, let me zoom in on that, Dad. Okay.
Got it? The prudent traveler will take care when approaching a standing rock or boulder, as it is just as likely to be a troll rock awaiting nightfall. If this is the case, there is no cause for alarm, as the troll will stay in this form so long as it is in contact with daylight. Because of their aversion to sunlight, trolls make their homes in dark places such as caves or tunnels. While it would be unnecessary for an adventurer to avoid such places altogether for fear of trolls, it is worthwhile to proceed with exceptional caution and careful preparation. Many trolls are quite indifferent to the presence of humans, or at the very least are as wary of humans as humans are of them. There are some species, however, which do prefer humans as their main source of food, and they are surprisingly clever in their preparation of human-based cuisine. Knowing this to be the case, it is wise when traveling in troll territory to carry a bell, the sound of which is widely known to be agonizing to trolls of all species. "So what do you think, Twig?" asked Hilda. "Quick sketch of the troll rock while we have the chance?" Twig wagged his tail cheerfully. He was always up for an adventure. Hilda pulled her yellow scarf tight around her neck, hoisted her adventuring satchel onto her back, and broke into a run. A few minutes later, Hilda and Twig were standing in front of the troll rock. Now that she was close enough to examine it properly, she could make out not just the nose, but also two oval-shaped cracks in the rock that looked for all the world like glaring eyes. She took from her adventuring satchel a little bell on a loop of string. "Here's a job for you, Twig," she said. "Hang this on its nose. If the troll starts to move, the jingling bell will warn us." Twig took the bell in his mouth. He scampered up the body of the troll rock, tiptoed along the horizontal nose, and looped the bell over its pointed end. Hilda sat down cross-legged on the ground and began to sketch the craggy outline of the troll rock. She stuck out her tongue as she drew, and the curve of the body and the bulge of the head and the long jutting nose came into place. Then she moved to a different spot and sketched the whole thing from the side, then again from the back. "Not bad," she whispered, examining the finished sketches. "What do you think, Twig?" Twig the deer fox cocked his head to one side. "I know," said Hilda. "The shape of the eyes isn't quite right, is it? I need to sketch them close up." Hilda glanced over at the sun, which was low in the sky and near the horizon. She stuffed her sketchbook down her sweater and removed her red rubber boots. 20 minutes till sunset," she murmured. "Plenty of time for one last sketch." She dug her fingertips into a crevice and hauled herself up the troll rock's body and onto its nose. She was concentrating so hard that she did not see a dark cloud gathering in the west and moving towards the sun. On the ground below, Twig snarled. Hilda took the sketchbook from her sweater. "1 minute, boy. I'll be down just as soon as I've sketched these eyes." There she sat with her tongue sticking out and her legs hanging down on either side of the troll's nose. Coming up here had been an excellent idea. She could see the precise shape and texture of the troll's wide, stony eyes, the glaring eyeballs, the round pupils that seemed to get bigger and brighter with every moment that passed. Hilda's pencil darted across the paper. On the ground below, Twig yipped and growled. "I'm sorry, boy," called Hilda. "I know you're hungry. Just 1 more minute and we can go home for dinner." "Ding!" "Oh," said Hilda. "Ding, ding!" "Oh, dear," said Hilda. "Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling! Run!" yelled Hilda. Chapter 2.